Hello guys, welcome to my channel. This is part 1 to what if Naruto had multiple bloodlines. I have tried a bit of lemon in this episode, but I am very new to this what if thing, but I hope you enjoy it. Anger bubbled in Naruto. He came here to fight for the land of waves, yet some kid thinks that there is no hope. Through all of his life he was beaten and bruised like a wild animal. He was thrown out of shops like a torn up doll, and much more. No one knew pain like him, yet he still clings to hope. Flashback, Team 7, which consisted of Naruto, Sakura, Sasuke, and their team leader Kakashi, were sent on their first C-rank mission to escort the bridge builder Tazuna to his home, the land of the waves. On the way, they encountered C-rank missing Nin, the demon brothers. Sasuke made quick work of them, and Team 7 was given the choice to return home or continue. The choice they picked was to push forward. When they almost arrived at the land of the waves, they encountered A-rank missing Nin Zabuza Mamachi. Kakashi struggled to beat him at first, but with the help of Naruto and Sasuke, they pushed through. Kakashi was put out of commission and Zabuza got away with his accomplice, a disguised hunter Nin. They arrived at Tazuna's home and rested. When Kakashi woke up, they started an exercise called tree walking, which consisted of putting chakra in your feet and climbing the tree with no hands. Around 2 days in, they met a boy named Inari, the son of the bridge builder's wife Tsunami. He stated that none of them knew what pain was, which angered Naruto. Naruto proceeded to verbally bash Inari and then leave to let out his frustrations. While Naruto was out, he bashed everything he saw until exhaustion, and he then proceeded to pass out. A few hours later, a young girl entered the clearing. She sat down and started picking herbs. She looked to her right and saw a young boy. As she walked over to him, she pulled out a senbon and put it to his neck. He was an obstacle in Master Zabuza's way. If I let him live, he'll cause problems. But she was not a senseless killer, so she put the senbon away and instead tried to wake him. As Naruto groggily got up, he noticed 2 things. The field he was in was torn up from his outburst, and a girl. As he got a closer look, his heart skipped a beat. Long black hair that looked silky and smooth, beautiful black eyes that shined with the sunlight, rosy lips that glistened at every chance, and a face that not even Sakura could rival. The first words that came out of Naruto's mouth were not what he expected. "You are very beautiful." He was surprised when all the girl did was giggle instead of hitting him like Sakura. "Why are you in the forest, and what is your name?" Naruto, who was still gawking over the girl, fumbled over his words. "I'm Naruto, and I'm here training." "What are you doing here?" "I'm here to collect herbs for my precious person." "Do you have someone like that?" Naruto was confused. Throughout his whole life he could only think of a few. His sensei Iruka, who was kind to him and treated him like a person. Tucci and Ayam are the only people who let him eat without being overpriced or kicked out. He thought about counting the 3rd Hokage, but in the end, he was a grandpa figure to everyone in the Hokage. Naruto responded with 2 simple words, "Yeah, 3. I believe when you protect your precious person you are at your strongest, and my name is Haku." As the young girl stood up to leave, she said one last thing, "Let us meet up tomorrow." With those words she left, and so Naruto ran home, awaiting the next day more excited than ever. Maybe he thought she could be his 4th precious person. Naruto woke up early in the morning and left without no one noticing. He went to the clearing where he first met Haku. She was standing there picking herbs. Naruto walked over quietly, popped down next to Haku, and waited. "Good morning, Naruto." Naruto grinned wide. "Morning, how is your friend?" "He is doing much better, he will be fine soon." "That's good." Both Naruto and Haku sat in the clearing talking about nothing particularly interesting until Naruto had to leave for training. Kakashi gathered his team of Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura to finish the tree climbing exercise. "Welcome back, Naruto. We will be finishing this exercise. Sakura, you will continuously climb this tree for the next hour to improve your chakra reserves. Sasuke and Naruto, you will make it to the top of the tree by the end of the night or you won't be eating." "Well then, begin." Around an hour later, Sakura was laying on her back completely out of chakra, while Naruto and Sasuke had made serious progress on the tree. They had both reached over half, but Naruto was significantly higher. "How are you doing so good, Dobe?" "That is none of your concern, Sasuke. Let's just focus on the training." "No, you were never this good at anything. What's your game? You cheating somehow." "That's some faith from my teammate. If you really want to know, I've been training in secret. HMPH, whatever, I will surpass you in the end anyway." A few hours later, and the moon was shining, beaming down on the 3 ninjas training like a mother over her children. Both Naruto and Sasuke had reached the top. Sakura, on the other hand, had been going for 1 hour, taking a break and repeating. Once Naruto and Sasuke had finished their training, they joined Sakura. This was how they trained for a week. Early morning arrived. Naruto flew out of the house heading to meet Haku. This would be their fourth meeting since that day. Normally they would only talk about mediocre life, but Naruto planned to change that today. Soon Zabuza would be completely recovered, ending their time together. As he made it to the clearing, he saw Haku in a stunning kimono. It was a beautiful icy blue with snowflakes covering it with golden trimming. As he approached her, he asked, "Why the fancy outfit? This will be our last meeting together. I chose this for the occasion." "What, why?" Flashback, Zabuza had noticed Haku being odd for the past few days. She had been jittery, and he would get to the bottom of it. "Haku, why are you so antsy lately?" "I encountered one of the Konoha ninjas a few days ago. I've been attempting to squeeze information out of him, but it's just been mundane chatter." "Why did you not inform me of this?" Zabuza was angry. Not only did his tool fail to kill an enemy, she is being buddy-buddy with them. "I thought gaining intel would be better. I plan to move on to plan 2. "You better hope it is worth it." Zabuza always claimed Haku to be a tool. In truth, he thought of her as a daughter. He had raised her from a young girl, and he was very worried but also angry. Flashback end, "Me and my precious person are moving elsewhere, but I would like to know more about you before I go. Why don't you come back to Konoha with me? Both I and my precious person have had problems with shinobi villages. We will not live in one." Naruto and Haku's conversation continued a while longer until Haku again asked about Naruto's past. "Well, it wouldn't hurt to tell you, but don't hate me after it. As you know, I live in the village of Konoha. I grew up being hated by the villagers. I was shunned, beaten, and even starved throughout my life, all because I held the Kyuubi. Well, I guess that's my story. To sum it up, what about yours?" "I lived in a cold village with everything I could ever want, but it was stripped away by the hands of my father. He killed my mother because of her bloodline and then came after me. In the end, I killed him myself. While on the verge of death, my precious person came and took me away, and now I live a normal life. I guess we're not all that different, huh? I suppose so. I must take my leave back to my master." "What, wait, there will be no waiting, but I will leave you with a gift." Haku turned around and planted her lips on Naruto's. Lemon warning. Their tongues slipped together as Naruto moved his hands around her waist and squeezed her ass. Haku deepened the kiss, letting out a moan as Naruto squeezed harder. They both fell to the floor and continued. Haku's hand went to touch Naruto's shaft, but Naruto pushed her away. The moment ended after they broke the kiss. Lemon end. As Haku ran off, all Naruto could do was stare dazed. All of Team 7 except Naruto were making their way to the bridge with Tazuna, their client. Naruto stayed behind to guard Inari and Tsunami. Shadow clone jutsu. 10 identical copies of Naruto appeared and were told to spread out and guard the perimeter. A few hours later, "Looks like we made it with no trouble. You think those ninjas would be a little smarter?" The bandits kicked down the door. 2 of Gato's men attempt to take Tsunami, but Inari comes out from the corner and threw a knife at one of the bandits' legs. "You brat, I'm going to kill you for that." The man that held a large club came down on Inari's head, and the tail sounds of a poof are heard. Naruto Uzumaki is here to the rescue. The giant lug of a man swung his club down, splitting the wood floor to pieces. Naruto jumped over only to see the other bandit swing his sword at his torso. Poof. Naruto came from behind the bandit with a sword and with a swift chop to the neck knocked him out. A fast club swing came after him. Bam. Poof, a quick Kawarimi no jutsu with the splinters. Finally, Naruto threw a kunai to the back of the man's neck, killing him. "Told you I would come to help. Remember, Inari, true heroes do exist. I will take these 2 outside and tie them up." When Naruto got outside alone, he threw up. He killed this man, and for what? Sucking in his gut, he threw a kunai to the skull of the other bandit, throwing them in a river and darting off. If it is not Kakashi this time, I won't fall for your tricks." "Haku, take care of the brat." "Yes, master." "Now let's get this started." Zabuza swings his executioner's blade. Kakashi ducks under and throws a kunai at Zabuza's leg, who jumps back. Quickly, Kakashi reveals his Sharingan and the fight heats up as Zabuza enhances the mist with his chakra, almost completely blinding Kakashi. Haku charges at Sasuke, who due to the more intense training fights back with little struggle. Sasuke pulls out a kunai and throws it at Haku's torso, who has to jump back to dodge. In return, Haku chucks a volley of ice needles. Sasuke narrowly dodges them. While Sasuke dodges, Haku goes through a set of hand signs, demonic ice mirrors. "This is my ultimate jutsu. You have lost just by getting stuck in it." Fire style, fireball jutsu. Sasuke, who after seeing not even a scratch on the glass, has to start dodging as Haku spreads through the mirrors and throws a volley of ice needles, multiple hitting Sasuke. Sasuke continually dodges while occasionally throwing kunai back, but he is blocked into a corner about to die from the incoming Zenbun. Time slows a bit as now Sasuke can dodge with ease, he now has to find a way to get out. You seem worn out, Kakashi, getting tired from all this dodging. Clang. I got you just where I want you, Zabuza water style, water bullet. Ah, that hurt, but slightly impressive. Even while in this mist you are still faring your own. I'm not a jonin for no reason. Heh, seems like your other brat has arrived. Don't worry, the great Naruto Uzumaki has arrived. You idiot, if you had stayed outside the mirrors we could have worked together to destroy him. Hey, I was just trying to help. You should never let your guard down. Ice needles. Naruto, who due to the better training from Kakashi managed to dodge the Zenbun just barely. Be careful, Naruto, you're not fast enough to focus on deflecting. Okay, that's a good idea, thanks Sasuke. Clang, clang. Huff huff, I don't know how much longer I will be able to keep this up, Sasuke. Naruto watches out. What? Sasuke, who in a last-ditch effort jumps in front of Naruto, taking all the damage. Clang, you're good, Kakashi, I will give you that. But not good enough. Clang. It's over for you, Zabuza. Yeah, right, you can't even see me. Ninja art, Ninken, poof. What a useless jutsu, I thought you were the copy ninja, Kakashi. If I can't see, then I can smell you. You're not the first one to try that. But how are you gonna smell me, not an Inuzuka? Ninken, now Zabuza yells out in pain, while Kakashi Ninken bit into him. I will give you one chance to surrender. Zabuza chuckles, just kill me. If you have the balls to, then you leave me no choice, lighting blade. Sasuke stutters a pained gasp as he falls. Sasuke, why would you do that? I don't know, my body moved on its own. But please get my revenge for me on my brother, it's my only wish. Naruto yells Sasuke's name as a red chakra bubbles out, spinning around him, threatening to melt everything around. A giant fox head appears as menacing as a demon should be. And finally, a roar cracking the mirrors. I'll kill you. Haku throws ice needles. Naruto effortlessly dodges them, Lingestoward Haku breaking the mirror she is in, grasping her neck. He throws her to the ground and kicks her around before once again picking her up and shoving his hand through her chest. As the mask falls, Naruto's world comes crashing down. Haku. But why? She coughs up blood. To serve my precious someone. Zabuza saved me when I was young. It is my job to be his shield. Haku spits out a glob of blood on Naruto's face. Other than Master Zabuza, you are the only person I loved. Haku reaches her hand out and touches Naruto's face. Thank you, but this is goodbye. Thank you for showing me this love. Haku, in a pure scream of pain and agony, the Kyuubi's chakra explodes around Naruto, forming the one-tailed cloak. With the power of the 9 tails and eyes as red as blood, Tomo form and his eyes, and he vanishes. Lighting blade, Zabuza spurts out blood. That was a well-fought fight, Kakashi, but as you said, this is my end. In a burst of red, Naruto appears right next to Kakashi and Zabuza. Who hired you, Zabuza? That would be me, the name's Gato, and now that you're all weakened I shall kill you all myself. Gato cackles as Naruto disappears. Massive gore warning. Now my man will kill you all, attack. Gato hell, a spray of blood spills over Gato's head, he turns around only to all his men dead and one boy standing there glaring. You're next. Naruto, with speeds only rivaled by some beast, appears in front of Gato and picks him up by his collar. Your arms for all the people you hurt. A swipe of Naruto's arm and Gato's arms fly off, with a scream of agony for Gato. Your dick for all the women you've raped. A fist to the balls and they explode into pieces. And finally, your like for ordering Zabuza to come here. A squeeze from Naruto's hand and Gato's head explodes and his limp body fall to the ground. You've done enough, Naruto, you may rest. Yes, sensei. Naruto falls to the floor with the fatigue of his massive power boost. The aftermath of the fight was messy. The villagers of Wave came to try and free themselves, only to throw up at the gruesome bloody mess they saw. Sasuke was only put in a death-like state after a few hours. He recovered. Both Tazuna and Sakura were physically fine, but both were mentally scarred from the carnage Naruto caused. Naruto was unconscious for 3 days. By the time he came to, the bridge had been cleaned up and fully built, but Naruto was not the same. He seemed more determined but cold-hearted. The trip back to Konoha was mostly uneventful. Sasuke got curious about Naruto's Sharingan and asked to see it. Naruto obliged and activated his eyes, and so did Sasuke. The rivalry between them burned even hotter. Naruto's inner thought, I'm pathetic, I couldn't even protect Haku. How will I protect my friends and teammates? What I need most now is power. End of inner thoughts. As they arrived at Konoha, they all headed to the tower to talk about the mission. Guys, the outro will just be some things I want to say. If you stuck through till the end, I want to thank you. This is my first ever what if and I tried my best to make it. This is an original concept I created myself. It took me a while to create this, so I can't say my upload schedule will be daily, but I will try my best. Thank you for watching and have a great day.